Yo, what is the deal? What is good? Good morning, nation. Let's
Oh,
get
what
ready
is
to kick
going
this
on with the
thing off.
people, man? Let's do our
Yes,
thing, man. You
sir.
already know what time it is.
All right. Yes, sir. Let's hit it.
Inside Allegiant Stadium for the first time this year. Touchdown Raiders! Jack Jones! For the touchdown! A drill from behind! Ball's out! Big man running! Raiders!
Yo, salute nation. What is the deal? Good
Man, what's
morning,
going
y'all.
on,
Welcome.
man?
Welcome to another episode of Good Morning Raiders. And I got us backwards. There we go. All
There we
right.
go. There we go.
Yes, sir. I'm your host. I'm Jay Raiders alongside my partner, the Raider Rundown. Good morning, y'all. And appreciate everyone tapping in with us on this Saturday morning. We do have quite a bit to talk about today. Some things happen during the week. So we
Yeah,
definitely
definitely.
got to go ahead and talk about that real quick. Um, Before we go ahead and actually get into it, if you guys haven't done so, make sure if you guys are new, I appreciate you guys joining us. Make sure you guys head over, check on in, smash that subscribe button on both channels. Make sure you guys
Yes,
click
sir.
those thumbs for all of our ride or dies, day ones. Everybody's tapping in, who's already with us. Help us support the show and click those thumbs and help us to get our message across uh, the Raider Nation and the YouTube universe. I appreciate everyone tapping in. Let's go ahead and tap in with the chat. Appreciate everyone. My guy, our guy, Space Beast. What is good? What is the deal? Salute, salute.
What's
Raider
good?
Paul. Raider
What's going
Paul.
on, man? What's going on,
What's
Paul?
going on? JNN, what is good, my guy? Salute.
What up? What up,
Appreciate you
fam?
tapping in
Salute,
with us.
salute.
Yes, sir. Jason Downs, what it do? Thanks for pulling up,
Salute,
brother.
salute.
Yes, sir. And then we got Jason Marshall. Gronk is very public. He didn't watch film. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get into that. Don't jump the line, bro. Don't jump the line. We're gonna get into that for sure.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
but I appreciate everyone pulling up. For sure. All right. So let's go ahead and bring out our special guest for this morning. This man, you've seen this man on IG, uh, always putting out great content. He's also out on TikTok, but some people don't know, but he does have his own YouTube channel as well. And he's starting to go ahead and put shows together um, really soon. But let me go ahead and bring in none other than our guy, Joe Morley. What is good, brother? Good morning. Appreciate you tapping in with us. How you
Salute,
feeling, man?
salute, man.
Luke, we can't hear you, brother.
Oh, muted,
There we
brother,
go.
muted,
Good
brother.
morning. Good morning. What's up, Raider Nation? How
There
you
we
guys
go.
feeling today?
We
Man,
good,
feeling good,
fam.
man. Blessed as always, man.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Right.
But yeah, man. I know you're a busy man. You have a lot going on, and we appreciate you making some time to go ahead and join us on the Saturday morning for sure. But there's things happening with the Raiders. So we do have quite a bit of things to talk about. But I think let's start off probably with the headline of the last 24 hours, and that is Hunter Renfrow visited the Raiders yesterday. He
Right.
was in the building, met with the front office, with everybody out there. As many people thought out there, he was thought of being retired.
Yep.
Everybody thought considered him retired. He's gone for football. He's on to the next phase of his life. Next thing you know, he puts up a post saying, "Hey, that's news to me because I've been training to go ahead and work out and make a comeback in 2025, and here we are now. He's out. He literally went to visit the Raiders. Before that, I think last week he was out, or early in the week he was out in Carolina. He is a South Carolina native, so he went to go visit his team in his backyard and met with them. So now there might be a possible return of Hunter Renfrow, third and Renfrow. How y'all feeling about that? Obviously, he hits a special place in a lot of fans' hearts. He's considered third and Renfrow. He's been a clutch player. He's given up a lot. But how y'all feel about Hunter Renfrow possibly making a comeback to the Raiders?
Let our guy Joe take it first, man.
Go ahead, man.
Well, this is a big fan favorite right here. Everybody who roots for the Raiders loves a guy like Hunter Renfrow because he's smaller and he's basically the underdog that goes out there and just fights for every yard that he gets. And we don't think that we got the 100% of Hunter Renfrow when Josh McDaniels took over, right? The injuries and whatever else, he didn't fit the offense, whatever else was going on. We felt that when John Gruden left, that Hunter Renfrow was on his way up. So we still see the what could be the greatness or could be the goodness in Hunter Renfrow. So we all want to see him back. All the Raider fans want to see him back. And then you add him with the Brock Bowers, and in the slot where he can make those little moves, go back right underneath, and it should open up both of them. So I think if the Raiders could, I don't know what Hunter Renfrow's asking for, how much he's asking for, but if we can get him on the cheap, but like you said, last year, every talk out there was he was done. Like everybody I talked to, I go, hey, where's Hunter? They go, hey, he doesn't want to play no more. He's done. So maybe he took that year off, cleared his head, because just like 2 weeks ago, he posted a picture of him working for his family business. Yeah. And I think Raider Nation started hitting him up throughout there, and maybe that rejuvenated him. But I would take Hunter Renfrow back. I mean, have you seen our depth chart at the wide receiver? Like we need wide receiver.
Oh yeah,
Thank you.
That's damn sure. Yes, sir.
I'm for me, it's like it's either get him or Tyler Lockett, and you probably got to choose between the two because they pretty much do the same type of things. So if you had to ask me which one I would choose, I'd probably choose Tyler Lockett. As much as I do like Hunter Renfrow, I'd probably choose Tyler Lockett because I just seen what he did last year. So it's like I've literally watched Tyler still perform, and with Hunter, you could take that year off, but it's kind of tough because the way he plays and what he was asked to do, right? Like you asked to go towards the middle and do all this shit. Like them linebackers didn't take no year off and none of that either. So it's like I kind of like the physicality of it was the problem with him anyway. Like that was sort of the issue with Hunter anyway, where it was like once he started getting that contact in certain places, he would either let go of the football, he hurt himself, or things of that nature. So that would still be a concern. Now the person that was throwing them hospital balls and shit ain't here no more. So I mean that's a little different. But at the end of the day, I think I would still take Tyler Lockett over Hunter Renfrow if you had to ask me if it's between the two, because they pretty much do the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, I like that too. I mean, if we were talking, if we're going to add other wide receivers, yeah. If Tyler Lockett is there and you're looking at the same price for Lockett and you're looking at the same price for Hunter Renfrow, I would go with you as well. I would take the Tyler Lockett because of and he already has that familiarity with Geno Smith, which would be looking for. But if you were just looking at Hunter Renfrow and would I want Hunter Renfrow back? Hell yeah.
Oh, then yeah. If that's the case, like if it's just now, if we can get both, sure. Like that would be my immediate answer. If we can get both for some good price tag, for sure. But if it's just all right, take it out of the equation, we just asking Hunter for sure, yeah. Because like you said, our receiver is trash right now. I ain't gonna lie. We got a law firm as a receiver core. We got Alex Bachman and Kyle Phillips. Phillips and Bachman. You sit right there. You put that right there on the goddamn traffic sign when you're driving. So it's like, bro, we gotta figure some shit out at the receiver spot for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%. No, I agree. I mean, it would be great to go ahead and bring back Hunter Renfrow. I mean, we all know what he can do. He is our dependable guy, can make plays happen, create separation. Definitely would be valuable in that slot position for sure. And he wouldn't be a wide receiver one. He would come in either a wide receiver three or even four. He would be on the cheaper end, anywhere
You would
from
hope.
I say about $2 to about $3 million.
Right.
He knows he's been out of football for a whole year. He knows that his valuation is not the same that it was before, right? He had that $10 million a year contract that's up and gone. He's not the same player that he was from the last time we saw him. But I
No.
still believe he can do great things. I still believe he can go ahead and help the team and be an asset to the organization. We know what he brings as far as culture wise. He's a great guy in the locker room. He's not a leader. That's not who he is. But he can bring in that great culture. He can bring in that skill set, make plays when it counts, when it matters.
Mhm.
And there's nothing that says that we can't get Lockett as well, right? We like we said we have Bachman and who else? Who else did you say we had?
Kyle Phillips and
Kyle
then
Phillips,
Ramel
and
Keaton, the
then
only one that you can look at, maybe, but
I
I
think
don't
he's
know.
still on the practice squad if I'm not mistaken, or he's there.
Yeah,
He's there.
we can't expect too much. Let's say that.
Right, exactly. And then you have Trey Tucker and Jacoby Myers there, and that's it. You don't have that much depth. So bring in, if we do decide to go ahead and pull the trigger and bring in Hunter Renfrow, I think that would go ahead and increase that wide receiver room. Mind you, that also he is best friends with Christian Wilkins. Not all people knew that. There are guys that were at Clemson together, played together. So to go ahead and have that back, that would be a great thing. But more importantly, what's more relevant is if you bring in a Lockett, you bring in Renfro, and you still go out and draft one receiver, I think you're ahead of the
Maybe two.
game. I think you have a well-rounded wide receiver room where you have your number one wide receiver from the draft, and then you have your wide receiver two, Myers, and then you can have Lockett and Trey Tucker battling for that third position, and then you have your guy Renfro in number four. They're gonna utilize them in different packages. They're gonna use that spread offense. So having more weapons available, having different looks, it just helps us out in the long haul.
Right.
But
Yeah, it's the flexibility that bringing a guy like him in does, because it doesn't mess up anything that you do during the draft. It won't mess up any other free agents that you do. It's just adding a good veteran presence to the locker room, like you said, is what he would do. So, like you bring in Hunter Renfrow, you're not going, okay, we're staying away from other wide receivers. No, you're just adding
Exactly.
more to that room. So that's the good thing about something like a signing like Hunter Renfrow, if they can make it happen.
Exactly.
yeah, for sure. And then, but we haven't heard anything. I checked Twitter a little bit ago to see if there's anything that popped up. As of yet, there's nothing has been said. So we'll be on the lookout, and if when it does pop off, we'll go ahead and share it with the nation for sure. But
Yep.
aside from that, there has been other news. Raiders did make a signing yesterday. On top of that, Raiders went out and signed the linebacker Devin White from the Bucks to the Raiders. You have that familiarity with Spike Tech, having Spike Tech drafting him in 2019. We saw what he can do. He put up great numbers in Tampa Bay. He did miss a step last year. I think he was with Philly. Didn't work out in Philly. And then he went over to Houston. And then I think he had a couple injuries there, and his season was a little bit short, so the numbers were down. But aside from that, he's been putting up pretty good, solid numbers in Tampa Bay. How do you guys feel about the signing? We do need help, more depth in that linebacker room as well. How you guys feeling about this signing?
Yeah, I've always liked Devin White. I wanted the Raiders to draft him in 2019 at number 4 overall, because at that point we still needed a linebacker, right? We never addressed our linebacker position like we should. He did. Now this is where like Raider fans, we need to lower expectations. It's not the White of the past. Like when he first came into the league, he still has trouble covering running backs and tight ends, but he's a good run stopper. He got beat out in 2023 in Tampa Bay and started to go back from there. Last year, I just don't think he felt it. Like I don't know him personally, so I don't know anything like that. But I mean, he went to Philly, which is when you're learning from Vic Fangio, it's a very tough defense to learn in your first year there. And if he wasn't feeling it, like, hey, I already left Tampa where I was secure and ready to go. Then you go to the Eagles. He has to learn that. So then whatever happened, they released him. He went to the Texans. Didn't really do much, had battled injuries. But I think if the Raiders can renew his energy, because, I mean, since he's been drafted, he's been talking crap to the Raiders. You guys know that, right? Like, hey, I regret you, or you guys are going to forget not taking me at number one. Like, he wanted to be a Raider, and he should have been a Raider, and now he's finally there. So maybe this is going to rejuvenate him. And like I said, I put a post out yesterday that this is a low-risk, high-reward kind of signing, right? If we cut him in the offseason because he doesn't do anything, cool, we get rid of him. But if he can become the White of the past and help us become that linebacker and solidify that linebacker because Pete Carroll's going to get the best out of him, Patrick Graham's going to get the best out of him. And if he can't play for those two, then he doesn't want to play football at all. But he's only 27 years old. 27 years old. We're getting we have a chance to rejuvenate him and get him back to his top playing days.
Yeah, sure. I definitely agree with the low risk, high reward type of signing, because that's definitely what it is. You're not getting them for too much. You're hoping that you can bring the best out of them, but also, we got to touch on the fact, like, I think people should also temper expectations too, because like you said, Tampa Bay, the decline was there, right? With the Eagles, he got beat out by Nakobe Dean. That wasn't. I mean, he was kind of feeling it, but he did get beat out. So then that was that. And the Kobe Dean is like a second year. So then there's that. Then you go to Houston, and the only way he kind of get playing time is when your boy, I think he was even there after that. But when the linebacker that started ended up getting, I think, suspended for that hit on Trevor Lawrence. That's the only way he started playing. So then after that, it's like he didn't get no playing time after Shahir came back. So then since the Super Bowl year, and it's 2025, that's 5 years ago, we have not seen this man perform at the level that we had saw him perform the first 2 years in the league, right? Like in the first 2 years, he was balling. Then after that, it was different. Now, can we say, oh, he's not getting used properly? It's kind of hard to say that when he was still with Tampa Bay, 21, 22, you feel what I'm saying? So it's like, it's not like they just all of a sudden was like, nah, we're not gonna let you do what you normally fucking do. Like, nah, like there's something there to that, where that decline happened and they had to bring in other guys. So can we get something? Yes. But if you told me that the Raiders traded back and still got a Jahad Campbell, I would understand that too, because I don't think you found the answer. I think we found the name is good. You feel what I'm saying? But it's not like we still got to look at the production too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean, when he was with Tampa up until last year, he was averaging about 70 tackles per season. So
right.
We know that the output is there. I know there has been some questions raised as far as his attitude. So, I think coming with Pete, knowing John, he knows what time it is. It's like, right. You know what, we're going to bring you here, but there's certain expectations. There's certain things you're going to be involved with Patrick Graham. You're going to be working with Pete Carroll. Obviously if John didn't feel that this guy wouldn't be a good asset, the move wouldn't have been made. So I'm interested to see how he's going to go ahead and fit into some of those schemes and packages that Patrick's going to go ahead and show this season. But definitely, I think it's a solid pickup. Like you said, Joe, it's low risk, high reward type of deal with this dude. So it doesn't take away anything as far as us going out and still drafting a linebacker in the draft. I still believe that is the move that we need to go ahead and walk away in this draft with a solid linebacker
Yeah.
in any other rounds, preferably before the 6th round. But I think I like this move. I'm not mad at it. Um, I want to see what more can Pete bring out of Devin White. Obviously, the whole coverage thing that could be taught, that can be worked on, but the core foundation is definitely there. But um, yeah, that's what we got with Devin White. But also, there's been other signings early in the week. We signed the D tackle,
Yeah.
Liki Fotu. That he was with Carolina. I think he was at the Jets right before that. And then we signed another tight end for Def Piece, Ian Thomas from the Panthers. He is now a Raider, and he's going to be that tight end 3. And, you know, again, more of a depth piece, not really an integral part of this offense where you have Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer already in the mix, and definitely going to be utilized more often than Ian Thomas. How do you guys feel about these other 2 signings that we had early in the week as well?
Depth. That's my only. That's my one word for depth. Because I ain't expecting them to do too much for real.
But if we learned anything from last year, we need signings like this. These are good players that have been able to put together when they're on the field, and they're not like going to be elite or maybe not. People aren't going to go out there and buy their jerseys and stuff like that. But we're going to have to call them at some time. We had 30% of our roster hurt last year from the whole season, so we need the depth out there, and that's something that. I like that John Spytek is going out there. He's bringing these guys in, and like I said, with all the other moves, these aren't moves that are going to affect you from doing anything else. Like if John Spytek wants to make a draft pick, he can make a draft pick at tight end, and one of these guys can be gone too. So that's what I like about everything that John Spytek and Pete Carroll have done this offseason is they're giving us flexibility at every position while also bringing a veteran in that can play that position if needed.
Agreed.
Yeah.
We got some pieces. I mean, at least something to fall back on. Just raise the floor, I guess, if that's what you want to say, because that's definitely what we needed to do, raise the floor at least. But now we can start plugging and playing some blue chip guys or some other things to mix in with that, and it's definitely gonna be scary.
Yeah, for sure. No, I agree. I mean, I know that this free agency hasn't produced that wow factor, but I mean, we got to remember the way that they're building this thing is not only for the immediate now, but also for the future. So the way you build for the future is through that draft. You get some of the pieces from free agency if you're like a couple pieces away that you just need that running back, you need that linebacker, you need that corner. That's where you go out and get those big signings, right? But when you're just literally you're building depth and you're building a future, that comes from the draft. And free agency is just to go ahead and we're just putting the depth pieces together. And that's what you're seeing right now. So expect to see more moves, but it's probably not the moves that Raider Nation might not be very excited about. They'll be like, who the hell is this guy, or who's this guy?
And real quick, if I can, man, like if I can too, Walt, like I don't believe this at all, right? Like this is where I say we got to temper expectation, bro. Like, no, if there are certain guys on the board or certain guys you get them guys. You don't look around and say, oh no, we're good. Like I just seen him get beat out by a second-year player. So if that's the case, why wouldn't I just draft a rookie just in case? Especially if he's like very talented, like some of these linebackers are.
Yeah, I agree with you. Devin White doesn't stop you from drafting or bringing any other linebacker in.
Gotta do that.
Yeah, no. Just like I think the most common one is the quarterback. We already have a quarterback. We don't need to draft another one. We can focus on 2026. I disagree with that. I think the plan should still stay the same. Yes, you have Geno here, but you still got to plan for the future. Geno's only going to be here max 3 years, maybe 4.
Facts.
But
Facts.
these guys, you know how the Raider Nation is. We're very critical of all of the players and coaches, and if they're not performing up to par, we'll definitely be calling for heads. So if Geno's not up to par this year, which I don't think that'll be the case. I think he'll have a good solid year. But if he, if he shuts the bed and doesn't perform to, the Raiders' expectation and fan base expectation, he's going to be gone in 2026. And then who else is there, right? You won't have anywhere we're going to roll with AOC. We already know what happens. We already know what to see if we decide to go ahead and roll with AOC. This is where you go ahead and get your rookie quarterback. This is where you go ahead and put him out there, right? You have him sit out that half a season or a season. You roll him out in 2026, and you really see what he can do. I feel that Shedeur is still the option if he's there at 6, and I believe that's the Raiders' move. I think that's what they're going to do. I don't know. I'd be surprised if they went a different direction in quarterback if he's there. If he's not there, then I mean, they're going to go to plan C and D or whatever, right? But if he's there, I believe they're still going to go ahead and grab him because that's still an important piece. We don't want to go through this quarterback carousel that we've been going through the last couple of years. We saw what happened after Derek Carr left. There was no plan in place. We've gone through Garoppolo, Minshew, AOC, and we've gotten nowhere but stress and utter failure. So I know Pete doesn't want to go through that. I know Spytek doesn't want. Brady definitely doesn't want to go through that. So they're definitely still going to go ahead and keep that plan in place. And that's what Pete said from the beginning. He's like, "Hey, we're going to get guys, even though we have great guys in the room already. If we see an opportunity, we're still going to go ahead and grab these guys. It's not going to deter us from doing the things that we got to do.
That's
so
what you got to do.
Just kind of food for thought, But yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's the signings for this week. Obviously, there's still some, free agents out there. Wide receivers still really hasn't been addressed yet. I mean, we had Hunter come by, visit us yesterday, but you still have, I believe, Tyler Lockett out there. We mentioned his name. You have Amari Cooper. Offhand, I think there was somebody else. I'm pulling up my spot track. I should have.
I believe it's like Elijah Mitchell or something like that. Or no, that's
Elijah Moore is still available.
Elijah
Keenan Allen still available.
Gotta be there. Out of all them names, bro, it's Tyler Lockett's the only one that really looks like okay, we can get something, and he has the, the real camaraderie with the quarterback already, and we can hit the ground running. So I mean, if you want to say that, yeah. I know people like Elijah Moore, but that's another low risk, high reward where it's like, all right, I done seen him bounce around from team to team. So it's like I can't get too excited about that. Keenan Allen, I'm not with. I'm definitely not with Amari Cooper. I'm not bringing Amari Cooper back. That I think honestly, bro, like it's draft. You got to look at the draft, and maybe trade, but nah, you probably got to look at the draft, honestly, bro, and grab it. But I know we're gonna talk about the draft in a little bit, but the options are there though.
Yeah, it looks like Keenan Allen's off the board as of today, right? It looks like
didn't know that.
But it looks like he might be going back to the Chargers.
I know they've been talking, but I don't know if there's anything that's been. I
guess he posted on his Instagram a picture of him and Mike Williams kind of returning. So it looks like.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. Yeah, but I know Amari Cooper has been floated out there. I don't know if he necessarily wants to come back to the Raiders. For sure, even though it's a different look from when he left. But I know that name has been thrown out there. But I feel honestly that Tyler Lockett probably is the one that makes the most sense to us. Having him be on the cheaper end, his market value is about $7.5 million. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to pay him that amount, but that's around his market value. You have Pete Carroll that he's worked with in the past. You have that continuity that goes a long way to having a more team-friendly kind of deal. He'll still get paid, but if you can bring them in anywhere from that, like, $6 to $7 million mark, I think that's something that we can go ahead and live with. But then you have guys like Elijah Moore out there. His market value is about 7.5. I'm sorry, 4.5. And you can go ahead and bring him around that 4.5, maybe $5 million mark. Still a young guy. He's only 20. He's about to turn 25, I believe, this year, and he has potential as well. So, those are some of the names to go ahead and kind of look out for as well. But yeah, as far as that, those are still possible options. But as far as linebacker, I think this is kind of what I was looking. I was looking for one more signing a linebacker, and that has happened. Is there any other positions you feel that we need to go ahead and address in this free agency?
Looking at the available free agents, I'd rather wait till the draft and see what we get, and see what we get during the draft, and then go back and then revisit free agency. But right now, I don't think there's anybody out there that's going to be a make or break player for the Las Vegas Raiders. Like we have, don't get me wrong, the Raiders have a lot of holes that they need to fill, and they could bring some of these guys in and start doing that. But we also have 9 draft picks right now, and they could, that and with the possibility of adding more by moving up and down the draft board, which I 100% expect John Spytek to play with the draft picks this year. So, and we're not used to that either. We're not used to adding and acquiring, moving up and down the draft board. We haven't seen that in a while in the Raiders organization. And John Spytek talked about it the other day that he loves draft picks and he values each and every draft pick. So, you saw just a couple of years ago with the Rams. Just a couple of years ago with the Rams, where they brought in 11 draft picks. All of them were playing, all of them turned it around. So you can if you make the right draft picks and you make the right choices, you can have you can start filling some of these holes real quick. So looking at the free agent market, like you were saying, I'm ready to hold off. Let's hold off for 24 days, 25 days. What is it? We're tomorrow will be Tuesday is the beginning of April, so we're only 20 days away from the draft.
Yeah.
Let's if we can get a couple like 1-year deals that aren't gonna still give us the flexibility that we can release them if we need to, let's do that. But I'm more focused. Let's go to the draft, get these young guys in and see what we got.
Yep. Facts. I agree. With literally the draft right around the corner, and us having currently 9 picks so far, and now that amount can definitely increase. Expect these guys to go ahead and go up and down the board. Spytek and Carroll are very notorious about doing that. So I can't wait to see what happens there. But I think speaking of the draft, let's go ahead and get into that that segment. Now, I asked this the other day. What is the Raiders draft plan? What do you think is going to be our goal in this upcoming draft? Right? Is it going to be primarily focused on offense, or is it going to be a more diverse type of draft where we're picking from different positions, both offense and defense? What do you feel is the Raiders draft plan coming up? I said myself, like, hey, I still feel that part of the plan is still going out and get a quarterback. How do y'all feel about that? What do you think? What are your thoughts on that?
I want to hear Joe, man. I want to hear what you talking about.
Okay, so at number 6, I don't think Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders will be there. And if Shedeur Sanders is somehow there, me personally, I don't want to take him. I would rather take him lower on the draft if we can get him out of the top 10. I would trade down for him and get him. Just because there's some stuff I think he needs to work on, and with Geno Smith coming in, I'd rather go with Geno. And will Shedeur want to sit behind Geno? I don't know. That's my thing, but I think if Cam Ward if there was a possibility that we get Cam Ward, I'll take it all.
Mm-hmm.
Shedeur Sanders, I'm just looking. There's some of the stuff that I watch on him, and people are excited about him. Like, look at it, he could run around. Yeah, he ran around for 10 seconds in the backfield, and then most of his big plays were off of broken plays. Will you be able to do that in the NFL? there's question marks about that. He holds onto the ball, in my opinion, way too much. He needs to get rid of it. So there's a lot of work there. So I wouldn't be comfortable taking him at number 6. If it was any other draft, he wouldn't be going this high. And I know people will get mad about that, but it's a down year in quarterbacks. Do I think the Raiders draft a quarterback in this draft? Oh, 100%. I think they walk away with it. Which quarterback is it? Not sure. How high do you want to get a quarterback? Not sure. Like, if you want, if there's a quarterback that the Raiders are high on, and if it's Milroy, if it's Howard, or if it's Dart, or whoever it is, sometimes you want to get into that back of the first round because you want to pick up that extra 5th year. Remember, first round players get 5 years instead of the 4 years. So you want to get the quarterback, but are they worth it either? And you already know the Raiders already brought in Ewers the other day for a pro day.
Yeah,
one of their top 30 visits. So they brought in him. So I think I think when they made the move for Geno Smith, I think they really thought like Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders won't be there at number 6, and we're going to move on and go from there. And I think they walk away with quarterback. Just depends on which one it is, and then we'll go from there. I think they're looking more towards next year's draft at the quarterback position.
Right. Now I don't think he's there because I do think the Giants will take Shedeur. You would think they take Shedeur if he was there, but if they don't, if he's there at 6, like for me, I've said it ad nauseum, bro. Like I take him, and there's a number of reasons I think I take him. I've gotten to it a lot, like I do think some of it's the play calling. I do think some of it's the offensive line. He does drift into pressure a lot of the times. He does hold on to the ball a lot of the times, but a lot of it, like when you look at it, nuance shit, it's like when you look at that offense, bro, it's always first read, and every time it was the first read's not open, bro, it's like the offense had no escape. You know what I mean? Like I can't get it out to a running back or whatever. Like, and they had no running game. It's a whole bunch of stuff. My main thing, bro, is like he's tough as heck. I think he might be the toughest motherfucker in this draft. Like and that is no hyperbole, bro. I've seen this man literally take a knee shot that might have took some other quarterbacks out the game. We ain't gonna talk about this year when we saw somebody get pushed and whatever the case. But he took a knee shot, got right back up, and threw a strike 30-40 yards. That's regular. That's on film. Secondly, bro, I think he's the most clutch motherfucker in this draft too. I mean, when it comes down to 2 minutes and all the other extra stuff, I've seen multiple times, bro. He's like that when it comes to 2 minutes. But that's just me in my opinion. When it comes to 6, though, if he's there, I'm taking him. If not, I'm praying Travis Hunter falls. By some odd stretch of the imagination, I'm praying we can get Travis Hunter, and 2 years in a row, right? We getting a player that we have no business getting. But fuck, I like it, right? I think everybody's talked ad nauseum. I think everybody's heard me, bro. I'm not with the running back at 6. I'm not in that camp. I don't believe we should be doing that. I don't even think, there's certain instances where no. If we can trade back, 100%, bro. But
let me ask you this question, since you're on this topic, because you mentioned the Giants. So if y'all don't know, Giants went out and got Russell Wilson, and they also got Jameis Winston. So now they have their quarterback 1 and 2. Does that change the Giants' plan at drafting at number 3? What do you think they still go out and get Shedeur at 3? Because now you have 2 quarterbacks. Yes, you have Russell on a 1 year, but I think Jameis is on a 2. So now you have some depth in that quarterback room for New York. Do you think Shedeur is going to be snatched up at 3?
I think we got to worry about the Browns personally. I don't think it's the Giants. I think it's the Browns, where they're going to be like, we can probably take a quarterback right now, because like the Giants are in hell right now, bro. Like that seat is hot for Daboll and Schoen, bro. I mean, when the owner comes out and he's like, I'm losing patience, you already know what time it is, dog. You better not start no 0-4, nothing like that, or you're getting fired. That's just basically what it is. So for me, it's like, can you take a rookie quarterback in that instance, knowing like job's probably on the line? If you take Travis Hunter, at least, it's a little bit of there. If you do get fired, at least it's not, we just took a fucking rookie quarterback in the organization and we're fucked off. Cleveland, Now I would take Abdul Carter if I'm Cleveland, but if it's them, they might have a little bit of leeway to say, okay, I can do it because it's Stefanski and that offense Stefanski runs is kind of good for Shedeur, so you can kind of sell it that way. But yeah, I think it's more Cleveland.
So when they gave Myles Garrett all his money, remember he said, "Trade me, I want out." Then they paid. They overshot the market and
they brought a Brinks truck to the front door.
Let's just say everybody talks crap about the Raiders and how they're ran or how they used to be ran. Cleveland has screwed up the NFL. Let's start there. Cleveland has screwed up the NFL. They overpaid the quarterback market and screwed up the quarterback market when they paid Deshaun Watson. And they just did it again this offseason with Myles Garrett, screwing up the whole non-quarterback market. But I think when Cleveland signed Myles Garrett, and then if you saw Myles Garrett, some of his interviews, he goes, I already know who our quarterback's going to be. So that, to my mind, since you haven't signed anybody, it's either going to be Cam Ward or it's going to be Shedeur Sanders. It has to be one of those two, and he's happy with them. And I think people have written off Shedeur Sanders to Cleveland just because they think that Deion Sanders is going to step up and be like, I don't want him to go to a bad organization. But I think I read something today or yesterday that Deion just said, hey, I'm not blocking anything. If God wants it to happen, it's going to happen. And I see quarterback 1 and 2 going. I think that's why New York has gone up and loaded up on their quarterback position with the veterans. And they're looking at, hey, we get Travis Hunter that we could play on the other side of Malik Neighbors, and he could play defensive back for us, a position that they need as well. Sometimes I wonder if New York is going to overcompensate for losing Barkley and go after Genty. In my opinion, I'm like, hey, because if you watched everything from that owner, so I mean everybody's sitting there. I would think that's why New York is doing what they're doing right there at number 3 and taking those quarterbacks already, because they feel that 1 and 2 are quarterbacks and we're already done.
So just think about it, right? So if the scenario plays out how you're saying, so it's 1 and 2 players still on the board. You got Abdul Carter, you got Travis Hunter still on the board, you got Mason Graham still on the board. And I know we're gonna talk about the other prospect, T-Mac, in a minute. You got him, you got Genty, which we already said that, but there are guys on the board, right? Which you can take, and the way that the draft can unfold, that's what I'm saying. Like we would have a good chance of getting somebody that we probably should have no business getting, but immediately you snatch him up, right? And you say, like, all right, that's what we got to do. Now people are saying, what if Dart goes 3? I can't imagine that. I just cannot imagine that organization and owner would allow that GM and coach to do that after that Daniel Jones debacle. I don't see it. That's too high, bro. Like, that's way too high, too much of a risk. I don't think they'll do that. Dart, you gotta look at Dart somewhere at the back end of the first. Feel what I'm saying? Now, if we were to somehow trade back, that would let me know, like, we might be fucking around trying to do that, because then we traded back, got some extra capital out of guy, and then try to trade back up and get Dart. Cool, if that's what you want to do. But yeah, I mean, we would still have some guys on the board, bro. We would still have some guys on the board.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Sure. So if we went Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, you would think Travis Hunter, maybe Genty would go to New England, and then Abdul Carter. So then we're, like you said, we're sitting there with both offensive tackles, both top offensive tackles. Mason Graham sitting there, linebacker sitting there. There's like you said, they're falling. In best case scenario, the Raiders want both quarterbacks to go number 1, number 2. Like that's then we're looking at somebody falling to us, or somebody willing to come up and offer us more for that number 6 pick, and we just go back just a little bit. Like, there's going to be something there that helps us. Like, but if you're asking me, if I'm sitting at number 6 and this guy falls to, if Mason Graham falls to the Raiders, like,
oh, come on,
I 100% will want that. Now,
oh yeah,
have the Raiders signed a bunch of their defensive tackles back? Yes, but could you imagine the defensive line with those 3?
Doesn't matter. I don't care who we sign back. So I had this conversation with my guy Turf, man. Shout out my guy Turf. He's like, hey man, what if if Abdul Carter falls? Like, man, but we just signed Malcolm Kuntz, and we got, man, I don't give a damn who we signed. I don't care. If Abdul Carter is there, you get him immediately. I don't care about none of that shit. So, but for me, bro, real quick, this is where I say we got to start regulating some of this shit, bro. Like, Paul, you don't believe this. You said Travis didn't play anybody, but Genty did. Who did Genty play? And this is like, okay. And if we went tackle at 6, this is my thing, and people gonna get mad at this. It makes more sense, right? If you said I drafted an O lineman first and then went to go get my running back after that, right? It would make more sense to say I'm going to solidify my offensive line before I went to go get my running back, right? So if everybody that's saying Mimbu, hey, if you want to say we got Mimbu in the first, somehow Hampton fall to the second, or we still got Judkins or whatever the case, I like that better than getting Genty and then taking whatever lower rated tackle or lower rated motherfucker we have to take in the second or third round after that. It just don't make sense. So for me, that's putting the chicken before the egg, in my opinion. So that's just me.
Yeah, and this year's draft is loaded in defensive linemen. It's loaded in offensive linemen, and it's loaded in running back. Like, so when you're looking at number 6, are you looking to take one of those guys? That's what I'm worried about. Like, it's for people to hate on Travis Hunter. That's crazy. I've never heard that. Like, I don't care what your competition is. There's people from Division III that come in and dominate the NFL. And Travis Hunter is out there doing it both. He's out there 100 plays a game on both sides of the ball, and you want to take him down. Dude won multiple games for Colorado last year, and yeah, there is questions about Genty. I think there's more questions about Genty than there is about Travis Hunter. Like Travis Hunter, you're just wondering what side of the ball you want to play him on, and if you're going to let him play both ways. I'm not for that Travis Hunter hate. Like, I mean, you can do what you want, but like you said, if Abdul Carter falls and you can pair him up with Max, because hey, be 100% honest, we got to lower our expectations for Malcolm Kuntz this year. Coming back from a big injury, it usually takes a year or two for those players to regain everything. But that's why I'm saying if you're at number 6 and we could trade back just a little bit, I'm all for it. Like, I'm all for trading back.
I'm with that, 100%.
Man. Yeah. And, I don't know. I think that Shedeur might be there at 6. That would be a possibility. If he's not there, Graham is there. I'm taking Graham. If none of those guys are there, I'm trading back. I'm not getting Genty. To me, Genty at 6 is not an option. I think that's too much. I would almost say stretching at that point. But if you trade back to 9, or you trade back to 9, you get some capital. I'm pretty sure the Saints will go ahead and make that deal. You go ahead and get draft capital, and then you draft Genty at 9. That to me makes more sense. You still draft them in the top 10, but now you have capital to go ahead and get some more players, because I'm pretty sure they're going to give up a second and a third round. I'm down to take that all day, plus that number 9 position.
Not bad.
So we're not saying, this is the thing. Me and Rem say, we're not saying that Genty sucks. It's not that. It's just that he's, to us, with this running back room, with this running back class, it's not worth a number 6 pick. Realistically, from what he's done and the division that he's played, seeing what the type of performances he had with Oregon and Penn State, he's not a number 6 pick in our eyes. That's how I feel about that. But making a move, going back, if we do decide to go ahead and get Dart, moving back, I probably say 19th, 18th, around that position. Again, stocking up on that draft capital and then making a move for Dart would also make sense. But you also have different plays there. You can go ahead and get Emeka from Ohio State. He's going to be there. You'll have Jahad Campbell now in that range because he's projected to go in that lower first. So you have that option too. So you have so many things that you can do. This draft is a very exciting draft. I think even more so from last year, because now we got guys who are at the helm, who are down to be aggressive, who are not scared to go ahead and make the moves necessary to go ahead and grab key players that need to be grabbed. We didn't see that last year. We had Coupon Tom, and Tom is very analytical. He has his A, B, and C, D plan. If this guy's not there at this position, he grabs the next guy. If that guy's not available, he grabs the next guy. He's not a guy known for moving up and down the board. Spytech and PR. So it's going to be very interesting on the things that they're going to
do. Definitely. And it's like, either way, somebody's going to be mad, right? Either way, somebody's going to be mad. We just all sat up here and said, like, yeah, Mason Graham will be all right. He says Mason Graham will be stupid at 6. I would love the reasoning on why Mason Graham would be not a smart pick. I would definitely love that reasoning. Graham is a great run stopper and not a good pass rusher. Yeah, I don't know about that,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
I don't know about that. But what we will say is this: anybody gonna be mad regardless. Like we take Genty, I'm gonna be salty. I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna be a little salty. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, "Oh, I hope he sucks," but I'm gonna be like, "Well, I'm gonna be skeptical," and that's okay to be skeptical or to pick it first. You know, everybody ain't gotta like the shit at first. It is what it is. Now it just depends on what need we feel, right? And I know we can get into it right now, but we do need a receiver, right? We need a receiver, but it's looking ugly now for the receiver that I was looking at for us to get at 6. After what I saw yesterday, now I'm kind of, I don't know. Do we have the footage? I can go ahead.
I have the footage. I have the footage ready. Yes, sir. Let me put up the banner for that.
Yeah.
I had it ready. All right. So T-Mac, right? I don't know if everybody's seen that video footage of T-Mac, but is now T-Mac not an option for the Raiders anymore? And a lot of us were saying, hey, you have if Shadour's not there, Graham is not there, certain people are not there at number 6, you have T-Mac, go ahead and get that big wide receiver. But now something came out the other day that kind of makes you kind of think twice about making that move. So let me go ahead and share that. Here we go. All right. I gotta.
I don't.
Yeah.
You don't watch football at all. Is it hard to watch film then if you don't like watching football?
Yeah.
For real? That's crazy.
I don't like watching film either. I don't ever need to watch it by myself because we go over as a receiver group.
I don't.
Well,
Yeah. So y'all heard it.
I can start it off, man. I can start it off.
Go ahead. Man, let them know.
I don't care, DJ. I don't care if that shit was recent. I don't care if that shit was old. That's not a good look. That's not a good look, regardless of how you want to spin it or slice it, bro. And to me, and most people are saying that's recent. So it's like, if that's the case, bro, I'm not with that at all. I've never seen not one great player without overly physical attributes say, like, I'm not watching film, bro. Like, and I'm not gonna be great at that position. You feel what I'm saying? Now I've seen some people say Gronk. That motherfucker's not Gronk. We know that immediately, right? Like he's just not Gronk. So, bro, that right there, dog, is not good for me, right? Mindset wise, that shit's not good for me, bro. Like, if you're going to be what we need you to be, you got to be locked the fuck in. You can't be like, oh, I don't like to watch film or that extra shit. Like that don't make no sense, especially at the receiver position. When we hear most of the good receivers and they speak, most of them are like, well, yeah, I start to understand coverage and I start to understand where I need to be on certain routes because now they're starting to cover me different. So if they're starting to cover me different, all right, fuck it, now I got to be here, right? In the zone coverage, I got to throttle down here. Or I know this dude likes to play in certain depth in man, so now I know where I got. Bro, you can't, and last thing, I will say this, even if he didn't know he was being recorded, like some people are saying, oh, man, he didn't know he was being recorded. That makes it extra stupid. That makes the shit extra stupid because now you just said that now that's how you actually fucking feel. That ain't just hyperbole. You can't just be like, oh, no, I was bullshit. No, if you didn't know you was being recorded, that's how you actually feel. And in the draft process, you have to be smarter with the shit that you're saying around who you're saying it with. That's just real talk, bro. So you can't do that. That's different.
What do you think?
I'm 100% with you. Like you always got to know there's a camera around you, no matter whatever you're saying, you're throwing out there. Am I worried about the watching tape in college? Probably not, because most of these players have made their career off of just God-given talent, the physical attributes that they were born with, and I would put that more on the Arizona coaching staff for not getting them in there and not training them correctly, and maybe not putting the importance of it and letting them get away with it. I don't know what's going on with the T-Mac hate in this draft, but it just seems like people are piling it on him and finding the littlest thing. Like, it's coming out that he's not the number one guy anymore. Golden's the number one guy. Like they're just finding little things to hit on T-Mac. Maybe there's a team in the middle of the first round that's like, hey, let's just keep throwing little stuff out there. Maybe he'll be able to fall to us somewhere down here and get him. And I don't know. I still like him. I still think that I mean Patrick Mahomes is honest about him. When he came out of college, he talked about he didn't know certain zones, certain schemes of the defense until year 2, year 3 of the NFL. Sometimes you're just not there. You're just not taught the right way to watch it. But I guarantee you put T-Mac in a room with Jacoby Myers, he's gonna get corrected quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this is what it is, right? And Space Beast, this is what would be frustrating because I'm always like a down the road thinker, right? Like he could get that easy, 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns. That's easy for a guy of that talent, right? Now imagine what the fuck he would do if he knew what he was doing. He was watching film for real. That's where it gets like frustrating, right? Because if he could just do that off the muscle, right, and be like, bro, I'm just that physically gifted. I can get you 1,100. I can get you 8 TDs. That would be fine, and we'd be like, all right, bro, whatever. But then there'd always be that little something that we'd always be like, bro, why the fuck is he not getting better in this area? Why is he not doing these things as the year? Like it's cool for year 1 and 2, and then year 3 come. You like, bro, why is he not progressing? You feel what I'm saying? Like, and then we start having these questions. Well, shit, why not? Because he's not doing the necessary work to progress, right? If I have to, and this is the difference, right? This is where my mind goes too, bro. Because in college, yes, your coaches need to get on your ass about that, but you're a pro now. Sometimes other motherfuckers in your receiver group are not going to drag you along and say, bro, we have to do film. They're just not going to do that sometimes. Right. Now, you might have a guy like Jacoby Myers that'll do it or whatever the case, but you're an adult. This is your job. You're a professional now. When it comes to watching this shit and doing it, I can't always have a groupie with you. You have to be able to do that shit yourself and know what you're doing. Now, yes, he can learn to do that, but if that's not initially how you're feeling, again, this motherfucker said he don't watch football. I just don't get that. I never understood that. You know who else said that? DJ Moore. DJ Moore says that. And this is my example with that. Look how talented DJ Moore is, right? You see that. A lot of Bears fans, my uncle, and a lot of people included, they be like, bro, we love him. But there be certain shit he does that just frustrates us. And there's a reason why, bro, this motherfucker be sitting there like, oh, I don't really like it. I play it. I'm good at it. But it's all right. You feel what I'm saying? So it's just for me, I just never understood it. Now, can it be fixed on? Can it be worked on? Yes, it can be worked on and things can be hedged in. But immediately coming out the draft, like if we're in the room, all three of us is Raider brass, that's the first question I'm asking them. I'm showing them the video. So what is this? What is this? Let me know. All right. Did you know you was getting recorded? Oh, you didn't? Interesting. All right. So, and I'm going to keep asking them extra questions until I find out what's the real crux of this issue. Because somebody going to need to ask that.
Yeah.
You're pulling the Jamarcus Russell on them. You're giving them the blank DVD.
I'm gonna be like, bro, I'm going to need to see something. Hey, you can't tell me this before I draft you. And all of a sudden I'm going to be like, nah, he'll work on it. It is what, nah.
Yeah.
Nah. Yeah. We giving him a DVD right there. He might not even have to know how to put that shit in. We might have to send that shit blank file.
I didn't know how many people went to his birthday. How many people went to T-Mac's 21st birthday? That's what I need to know too. Like we need to find all this out before he's taken. Like I don't know if you guys ever seen the movie Draft Day, but
I know, right?
21st birthday, all that, bro. I need to know it all.
We need to know it all. I feel that this is more of an issue that's raised as far as work ethic. I mean, this is, it goes to show you that, this is your job. You can go into a job where you can be paid millions and millions of dollars to go ahead and perform at a high level. Why wouldn't you want to go ahead and do everything you can to be the best at it, right? Yes, you're talented, you're gifted, but that only can get you so far. You'll eventually reach a plateau. You'll eventually hit that plateau. And not watching ball, not having the love for the game. I mean, it just shows that maybe you're not going to put your best foot forward on this because you're like, hey, this isn't. Yes, I like doing this. It's cool. I'm good at it, but it's not something that I really love. At the end of the day, if I don't have it, then I could walk away with the sport and not having a doubt on it, and I'm okay with that. And that's great for him as a person, but for us as a team, that doesn't really equate. I definitely would go ahead and kind of, take a second look at least on T Mac, even considering drafting him at all at this point. If I'm the Raiders, right? If I'm the GM hat, I'm wearing my GM hat. I don't know if I'm gonna go ahead and pick this guy to be part of our wide receiver room, to be honest with you. That does throw some red flags. Yes, some of this stuff can definitely be worked on, but at the end of the day, you hear guys like Max. You just heard Max on GPJ. These guys are working out together. These guys are getting up at 6 a.m. almost every day, 5 days a week at least, I assume, and working out together, hitting it, trying to be the best versions of themselves so they can help our team be the best version of itself. Does that make sense? And you can't teach that. Max is not on the phone like, hey, bro, let's go to the gym, let's go work out. No, he's like, hey, bro, I'm going to be at the gym. You want to meet me? I'll meet you there. JPJ is there, working out, being step by step. He's like, hey, bro, I feel it. I see it in his face. Sometimes he's like, fuck, I don't know how you're doing this, but he's still showing up every day. And that's something that you just have in you. Yes, you could teach it, but you got to have it in you to go ahead and put in the work. So I don't know if he's that guy to put in the work. That's basically
we'll see, man. We'll see. Space Beast makes a good point. Ibuka is out there, and definitely has that familiarity with our OC already. So that'd be something we can do, man. That'd be something we can do. But I mean, we're not talking about defense. Yeah. I mean, there's different receiver options, bro. We can do something.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You guys don't want to take Tyler Warren, go three tight ends in a row?
There you go.
But I've seen somebody say that. I don't know, but that'll add the explosiveness in the room that we need, bro. I feel like you gotta get rid of Michael Mayer if you do that. If you do that, you gotta get rid of Michael Mayer.
We better not go tight end again. Like, come on.
3 years in a row. Good. Oh my god.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, I understand. Like, everybody has a reaction on draft day because we have our own guys in our head. Last year, a lot of people talked a lot of crap to me because when Brock Bowers was drafted, I was like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing here? And congratulations. We got the best. Like I tell people, like people are like, they always go back to that video and they always talk shit to me and they're always like, well, your reaction. Like, I never said Brock Bowers wasn't a great player. I just didn't. He wasn't fitting what Antonio Pierce was building for our team. And congratulations. Right. Like I tell people now, congratulations. We have the best tight end on the worst offense in the NFL and on one of the worst teams in the NFL. Congratulations. We did it. We went out there. We were trying to build a team that went out there and hard hit and no bullshit. And we went out and drafted a finesse tight end. So we did that's what my reaction was. And if we go out there and we draft, like I'm telling you right now, if you draft a Genty, I understand it, but I'm like, it was not the best. Like somebody said it earlier in the chat, we're looking for the best value at the draft pick that we can get. And is T-Mac now that best value? I don't know. I think if you're looking for top, like I think you're just looking for players, for ball players, and it doesn't matter the position, and you're looking for the best one. So whoever the Raiders have ranked at that top one, you take them and you go from there.
That's immediate, bro. Like, and you saying it perfect, right? Like, especially when we do the content like we do, right? Certain people don't expect us to have the reactions or whatever. Like, when we do what we do, bro, we stand on our opinions. So at that point, bro, yes, at the initial reaction, no, we didn't think this is what they was gonna pick because you've been on your Instagram, we've been on YouTube talking about this shit for months. So no, that's not what we thought. So initially, we're going to have the reaction, and we're publicly here. So motherfuckers are always going to go back to, oh, you were wrong, you were this. But
right,
every player has to prove that. And like you said with Genty, if we take him, yes, we're going to be initially skeptical. Why? If this was a shitty draft class for running backs and we looking in, there's a whole bunch of goddamn Peyton Hillis over there after this shit, and got Trent Richardson in here, and they look trash. And of course, bro, you probably got to take him because he's miles and miles ahead and better than everybody else. I don't believe he's miles and miles ahead of the draft class like that. I believe he's maybe a mile, maybe. But when it comes to everybody else, bro, when I'm projecting them in the league, dog, a lot of other guys in this draft class can definitely do something. Definitely. And again, I said, bro, if I take a running back at 6 and he gives me 1,100 yards, what's the fucking difference from taking him at 6 or taking one at 37 or whatever? Because I can get a running back at 37 or pick 3rd round, 4th round to give me 1,100 yards. That's nothing. If I take him, this motherfucker better be knocking the door at 1,600, 1,700 yards off rip. I don't want to hear none of that shit, bro. I don't want to hear it. Because what you guys are telling me, bro, minimum. What people are telling me is he don't need to pass block. He's a hella motherfucking good route runner, right? Okay, sure. He's not Christian McCaffrey, though, but we say what we say. I do all these things, right? And he's going to be breaking 50-yard runs every game. So, okay, if that's the case, bro, I better be seeing 1,700 yards off the rip, or I'm going to be pissed. And all y'all that said we should have drafted this motherfucker or whatever the case, bro, I'm on your ass because that's not no number 6 pick and that's not generational. If I get less than that, and that's just real talk.
But that's what I love. You just said the word that I love hearing this time of year. Generational talent. It's generational talent. We got to take him. He's a generational. Like,
stop it.
Like that right there is like we don't know what any of these players are going to come out to be. All these players, like I've said, have potential to be a generational talent. Yes, but you can't just name it right off the bat. Like that's the crazy thing. My favorite running back in this draft, and that's probably why I'm kind of like not wanting a running back, because like you said, there's so many there's like 14, 15 good running backs that can come in day one and start for NFL teams. But Raheem Sanders from South Carolina is my favorite.
Yeah.
And you can probably get him 3rd round.
I would love if I got him, right? I'm a Judkins guy, right? Like that's just, I feel like that's the dude that if Chip Kelly could get, he'd probably get. And I feel like he just fits with Raheem Mostert too. I mean, 230, bro, runs a 4.4. I mean, come on now. Some of these guys are specimens, and we acting like the rest of the crop of running backs are just ass. Like I just understand certain guys when you speak about this. Then it's like, to me, it's like sometimes you don't seem informed about the class. Like when certain people say, "Oh man, nobody's touching Genty at all." Nobody. Like, and then you look, it's like, dog, Hampton ain't fucking lunch meat. He's good, right? Hampton is good. Yeah. Travion Henderson ain't lunch meat. The motherfucker's good. Even if we got Scatterboo, right? Which ain't my top choice, but even if we got Scatterboo, I'd sit there and I wouldn't be mad. I ain't gonna lie. I would not be mad. I'd be like, bro, we got somebody that definitely pairs with Raheem Mostert, and we got somebody, if you want to talk about running the ball like we want to run the fucking ball, look how Scatterboo run. And you tell me that you don't get no Marshawn Lynch vibes from that shit. Now, I'm not saying he's Marshawn Lynch for sure, but I'm saying, bro, just look at some of the shit he's doing. And you can't tell me that's not the mindset. We couldn't have that same mindset with Scatterboo to draft that motherfucker in the 3rd round to run the ball. It just makes zero sense, bro. Like, come on, bro. It makes zero sense when we say these things. Now, again, not one point have I sat there and said Genty's not a good running back. Not once. But somebody's going to sit here and say, well, he's hating. He fucking hates Genty. Not once have I came out my mouth and said that man's not good. I just don't think that's good value at 6, bro.
Once you say that you don't want Genty at 6, everybody already agrees. Everybody already putting it on there that you hate him. That you're not a Genty fan because you don't want to take him. It's not that you don't want to take him. You want to take him. You're just looking at the whole overall board of everything. Why would it not be better for the Raiders to take 2 running backs out of these like later on in the draft? Second, third, two of them and pair them up. In this day in the NFL, you need 2 running backs. You need the double running backs to go because injuries happen so much right now. It would just be better for the Raiders. The more we talk about it, like I already told you, I love Mason Graham would be my number 1 pick if we can get him if he's there number 6. But I like the more you look at it, it seems like Campbell might be the pick, right?
Yeah,
I think so. I think so. And see, look, facts like this is what's look. Hampton, Henderson, or Judkins are all good portions. But tripping off that. It's starting to look like we might have to go defense. I ain't gonna lie, like with that 6, right? And then the rest can go offense, but just to me, the better fits and better players off of what we can, especially if we trade down, definitely got to go defense, bro. I love Jahai Campbell if we can do that. I know Walt was saying, oh, we don't have to get no linebacker because of Devin White. Fuck that. Get Jahai Campbell if he's there, dog. If I saw Jalen Walker, if we could trade back and get Jalen Walker, I do it because I like what he brings. You feel what I'm saying? Now our defense, now we talking about really strengthening the defense. Maybe I know people like Will Johnson. Just for me, bro, like we don't have a slot corner. So it's like it's hard for me to say, like, let's take Will Johnson, and we still got the same problem of not having a slot corner. So it's like, who's going to play slot? I know we like Jacorian. Come on, bro. We already know. I'm not going to slide Jacorian to the slot after I just saw him do good on the outside. I just saw like this motherfucker been here years and years. No. And then you want to take Jack Jones and put him in the slot, dog. Like that's our most riskiest corner. We can't take our most riskiest corner and put him in the slot. We just re-signed Darnay Holmes. That's good. But I feel like he's better depth, right? Than having to say, let's rely on him for a full 17 game season. So again, like we could take Will Johnson, but then it's like now we're kind of slotting somebody else out of position for me.
Yeah. And you have those injury issues too. Been dealing with some like foot and like turf toe type things. So that kind of makes you reconsider a little bit as far as are you going to take him at 6? I changed my perspective once I heard that he's been dealing with some foot injuries throughout his season. But I mean this class is so deep on running back. It's ridiculous. You're gonna have dudes that are gonna go undrafted. And you're still gonna be able to go ahead and pick those guys up. I mean, we didn't even say Caleb Johnson. Caleb Johnson is there.
I'm not bringing him up because I don't want to jinx it. I actually want him. So I'm not jinxing myself, bro. I actually want him.
Yeah, on the site that I'm on for draft projections, as far as rankings, he's number 3 in their book. But you got Genty Hampton and Johnson, and then Trevion Judkins is number 6 for some reason. He's hopped over Sampson, and Sampson is really, really, really good. So not even to take anything away from Dylan Sampson, I still would get that guy. You have so much options to go in this draft. You can get somebody at 2, and then you can get somebody at round 5 and still walk away. We said this time and time again, but everybody's a lot of people, I won't say everybody, but a lot of people are biting on the Genty narrative, and I see why. I mean, it's attractive, but if you really look at the comparables, you really start diving into it and start doing some of the homework, you see like, okay, maybe this guy's not the best pick at number 6. This might be somewhere where he's a first rounder for sure, blue chip guy, but not a number 6 guy, But really quick, I appreciate everyone tapping in. Salute to the almost 60 people in the building. If you are new, make sure you guys head on over and smash that subscribe button on both channels. Click those thumbs, help to support the shows. We appreciate everyone tapping in with us on this Saturday morning, and everybody in the chat. Salute to y'all. If you want to go ahead and get off my lawn, gang, make sure you guys head on over, hit that membership button. I got mine pinned in the link up top, so make sure you guys head on over if you guys want to go ahead and get in the game for sure. But at this part, we're in the second half of the show, so we're going to go ahead and start really diving into the comments and the questions and everything. So make sure you guys head on over, put in your questions. Make sure anything you want to ask Joe, make sure you guys go ahead and put on there. Obviously, super chats are greatly appreciated as well. But yes, there's so many options. I think one of the questions that I'm going to go ahead and throw out there for you guys, talking about linebackers, we talked about Jahai Campbell. Who else is somebody that you would like to go ahead and see the Raiders pursue at linebackers? I still think that's a position that you need to create a little bit more depth. If you can get somebody where you're developing for the future, You can either have an immediate impact or something where it's a work in progress type of thing. Who would you go out and go ahead and get?
I'm looking at, Jahad Campbell. Obviously, I say I like Jalen Walker. Those are the first guys. And then if you go after that, I like Schlesinger from UCLA. He's nice. Stutzman from Oklahoma ain't bad. I've kind of dived into his film. Danny Stutzman, he ain't bad, so he's pretty cool. Two dudes that I like, and then that's off like personal, like Jeffrey Bossa from Oregon and Kobe King from Penn State. So those would be some guys that I think you can get. Like most of the guys, they're not Jahad Campbell. If they're not Jalen Walker, they're probably going day 2, 3. So that's probably what you're looking like from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you gave Bossa some love because that was one name I was going to throw out there.
I like Bossa.
I like Bossa too.
Yeah, and he's from where he's coming from, he was a safety turned into linebacker, but that dude, that guy is not afraid to come up and hit somebody, and you saw the leadership that he brings to the defense that he was in Oregon. So,
right.
Like he might be on the smaller end of it, but he's going to be able to be a nice coverage linebacker for us. And that's what is everybody hating on the linebackers that the Raiders have signed so far? White and Roberts. They can't cover. So if you can find somebody that can cover in there, and Bossa's what? He's going third round maybe? Second?
Yeah, he's probably going third, fourth round.
Fourth. So I mean, you add somebody like that, and the leader, like that's what you're kind of looking for, right? Now that we've seen it and we watch more players, you're kind of looking for that guy that was the leader at their team, and it doesn't matter like how big or small they are. You're looking for that leadership and not afraid to go out there and make the hit. And I kind of like what I'm glad you brought him up there because that is the guy that I like at the linebacker position as well.
Yeah, because he had a real good Senior Bowl too. That's where I kind of like started to dive in. He had a hell of a good Senior Bowl, and after that, went back and watched, and I'm like, oh yeah, this dude got something to him. And I think Pete might like him. So definitely be something that I think we can look at with him, and definitely get in the day 2, 3 position for sure.
Yeah. I personally like Demetrius Knight out of South Carolina. He's really good. Schwessinger's another one. Odalejo.
Okay, yeah,
and I throwing that name out there. I think LB's throwing that name out there. So he's
an edge though, ain't he?
I think he plays both. They have him listed as a linebacker though. I have him listed as linebacker, but I think he plays both. But he's another one to look out for. He could be a late round pickup. But I like Demetrius Knight, Barrett Carter's another one, Chris Paul Jr. As my top 3 that we can go ahead and pursue. And I think Demetrius is probably going to go possibly late second, early third. Same thing for like Schlesinger. I think he'll probably be like a third rounder around there. Barrett Carter is the same. So we have some options. I would like to go ahead and have the Raiders walk away with a linebacker for the future. I know that we had my God, I had to draw his name on the blank. I already forgot about him. I already parted ways with him. Our guy Spillane. And I know he's felt he's lost, but I know that we can go ahead and definitely replace him and upgrade that position. And I think the draft is definitely one of those positions to go ahead and do it. As far as wide receivers, who you guys like that's out there that you would like to go ahead and have the Raiders look at and possibly go ahead and pick up?
Before you go to wide receiver, I just want to say this too. Another thing that we're forgetting about is the Raiders signed Jeremy Chinn. Jeremy Chinn, I think it's a very underrated signing for the Raiders, and people might not recognize the name, and that's probably what's throwing them off, or they're mad that we lost Trayvon, and they're mad about the other, like Spillane, and so Raider fans aren't looking at the big picture. Jeremy Chinn's a very good safety and a very hard hitter, and they're going to be able to bring him up into the box as well and help that linebacker position and be able to do that. Like Jeremy Chinn, there's so much that you're going to see from Jeremy Chinn this year that I think Raider fans fall in love with players quickly. And this guy right here, Jeremy Chinn, is one that I think is going to win over the Raider Nation with quickness as soon as I would say, like, I don't want to say the casual fan, but the average fan that watches football, that probably just watches Raider games, like they're gonna fall in love with what Jeremy Chin can do.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was happy about the Chin signing. I know some people were bad
Okay.
about Merrick, but for me, for what we got in Chin, like again, Merrick is not $9 million better than Jeremy Chin. So I feel like
No.
especially if what we're gonna ask him to do, like if you were to tell me which player would you want playing closer to the line of scrimmage and doing all this things, it's probably Chin, because that's more natural for him, right? It's like where Trayvon, we just saw him do that this year. So I'm very happy with that signing, bro. For me, you can kind of see where it's gonna go. Where if we don't get a linebacker that we can rely on, and if Devin White does not work out, or whatever the case, maybe he does, but yeah, most linebackers are not going to cover it. So if that, you're probably going to have to play with 3 safeties, right? And that's what, in saying that, that's saying like Jeremy Chin is going to have to come in the box and start playing down here and really getting in with them tight ends and really getting in with some of them underneath routes. So then we'd have to find somebody else who can go in and shit, right? So like that's where the dilemma and lies right now. What we gonna do?
Yeah, no, I agree for sure. Yeah, I like the Chin signing. I looking at the comparables, it is an upgrade from Warwick at a fraction of the cost, and that's the thing. That's the thing that people got to remember. It's a fraction of the cost of what it took to go ahead and um, keep Warwick. I think Warwick got the bag, and hey, you know what? More power to him. I'm not hating on the dude, but we're able literally to go ahead and replace, and then upgrade the position within a matter of hours. So salute to Spytech and Pete on that signing for sure. But going back to the draft, as far as wide receiver draft picks, I know I think Walt asked earlier what's the difference between T-Mac and Jaden Higgins. For one, they're about the same height. Jaden runs a little bit faster. He actually participated in the combine. He had a really, really good combine. I feel he's a little bit underrated just because he is out in Iowa, but I feel that he's going to be that solid pickup projected either in the second or even early third. So that is somebody you can definitely go ahead and go out and get. I know there's Emeka. I like Emeka. I like Trey Harris as well. But not only that, you have Jack Beck, who's gone up in the class. Leak Emmanuel, I'm probably butchered that name, from Stanford. He's also there. And Savion Williams, Azia Bond. You have so many options at wide receiver. It's not deep as a running back class, but if you're looking for a tall receiver, they are definitely there. Who do you like, Joe, in this wide receiver draft class?
Yeah, I like to look at like players that aren't getting the love that, and like you said, this might be a wide receiver class that's not like we were spoiled the last couple of years with wide receivers in the NFL draft, and but I like Pat Bryant from Illinois. I like Nick Nash from San Jose State, and then another guy from Maryland, Prather is his name.
Prather, yeah, Jaden Prather.
Like that guy right there, I think could become something in the NFL. Like I don't think people have, like you said, when it comes to the NFL, it comes to coaching. So maybe they're not used right in college, and you get them in there, you get a big guy like that, like 6'3", 6'4" guy, 210 pounds, 215 pounds, that you can be able to mold into the offense. And we finally, like, Niner fans and everybody else and Eagle fans might hate on Chip Kelly. But Chip Kelly is not the same Chip Kelly that he was 10 years ago. He's grown. He's learned from his experiences, and he's an offensive coordinator. He knows he's not a head coach. He's an offensive coordinator, and he's going to be able to find the best out of it. And players talk really good about him. And you get him playmakers, and you find him wide receiver that, and he's going to find that best ability out of that wide receiver. Something which makes a great quality in a head coach or in a coach, right? The coaches aren't supposed to put players into their system. They're supposed to build a system around the players and what their best abilities are, and I think that's what we're going to see this year. And I think that's what's so great about the Pete Carroll hiring is that we're actually going to be able to move players around and use them to their abilities.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I agree, man. And I like some of the guys you definitely rattled off there. For me personally, like I think I said it recently, but I kind of tempered how I was thinking about wide receivers. Because looking at it, it's a very good point. Most of the receivers, 4 out of 5 of the receivers that lead the league in yards are not overly big guys, right? They're like 6'1" or under. You know what I mean? You're looking at Amon-Ra St. Brown, Puka Nacua, Zay Flowers. I mean, people may think he's big, but Jamar Chase ain't that overly big either. You feel what I'm saying? He's more stocky than he is like that. So you're not getting a lot of the 6'3", whatever the guys, doing that. But in knowing that, saying, okay, maybe the typical X, but maybe we can get a guy that's like Joe is saying that Chip can move around a lot, and that can do different things. Now, there are certain guys in here that do got that body type, right? Like for me, some of my guys like Jaden Higgins. I like Jaden Higgins from Iowa State. He's got that body type. He's got the fluidity of 6'4", the way he moves. I really like him. Somebody that a lot of people not talking about a lot no more. But I do like still is Trey Ole Miss. I like Trey Harris. He gets down. I definitely he can be a target for us. Io Manor from Stanford. That's one of my guys too. I like Io Manor. But I really just hop. But really, I'm going to start pumping this hard. But Kyle Williams, bro, from Washington State is nasty. That motherfucker is different, bro. I really like him, bro. So if you get to watch Kyle Williams from Washington State, definitely tap in, bro, because he's nice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Do you like Tez Johnson? Because I like Tez Johnson. I'm just trying to figure out where he's going to fit, and especially like if we bring like a Hunter Renfrow back or something like that.
That weight scares me, man. Yeah,
it's his size but then you look at Devontae Smith and you're like, that guy's tearing it up in the NFL. He's doing good at that size. That's the only because he's what 5'10", 100, maybe 150 pounds wet, like soaking wet.
Yeah, that's it. Yes, no, which I think to a degree, and it's gonna be hard because you look at him like how, but I think Devontae Smith might be even a little bit bigger than your boy. I ain't gonna lie. Let me see. Let me look at what he looks like. Because Devontae to put some weight on the frame as much as he can, but he don't put a little bit of shit on there with Tez.
This looks at Devontae Smith at 170 pounds.
See, and that like for him, that's good enough. Like that's good. I don't think he's gonna get much more than that. I ain't gonna cap. So he's already taller than you, boy, and that's gonna be asking him because I don't think he ain't nowhere near 165. That shit at all. Because they looking at Tez Johnson talking about he 165. I don't see no 165. I think he weighed in at like 150, like you said at the Senior Bowl. So if that's the case, we talking about he got to get 20 more pounds on him. That's a lot. That's a lot. But I mean, it can be done.
Yeah, because I do like him. I like his competitiveness, and I like watching him on film. But it's just like, like you. But same thing. They like you just looking at it, like the hard hits that are coming your way, and you're like, ugh.
Right, and then it's like to know that there's gonna be some corners that's gonna get up. They're gonna get up in him. That's just real deal, bro. And we talking like again. I always bring this up, bro. But we got two good corners in our division with McDuffie and Surtain. These motherfuckers will put hands and feet on him immediately, dog. As soon as he's in the league, they gonna put hands and feet on that man, bro. It's gonna be over.
Yeah, no, for sure. Oh man, yeah. I mean, I like also too somebody for a late round because you don't you don't have to get somebody in the second or third, preferable. But you have guys like Ricky White, who's also available, like in the fourth and fifth round, who will still be there. Um, you got Ja'Cory Brooks. If we're talking about a guy with height, you got 6'3", 195, basically 200
Right.
pounds right there. So we got options. We got options. That's a position that I feel that we're going to be able to go ahead and address and get somebody of size to go ahead and compete and for those jump balls, for those 50-50 balls, to be able to go ahead and put that physicality on them, for sure. But what other positions do y'all feel that also need to be addressed? I think obviously we talked about linebacker, running back, wide receiver, guard. I think we're just one piece away,
Guard.
literally one piece away from having a really, really solid O line. Who would you guys like to see at that offensive line?
See, I think our offensive line is a little bit underrated right now. Like everybody likes to talk crap about it, but we have some young players on there, and DJ Glaze, I think is a very solid offensive tackle and can continue to grow. And most of the offensive line issues is schemes. I think it is like look at some of these best coaches, some of the best offensive coordinators and coaches out there. They don't have the greatest names or the best names at offensive line, but they have schemes that they move around it and get the ball out there quickly. But I mean, we do have to be honest, right? We do have to be looking for an offensive tackle. Like Colton Miller is up there and is getting up there in age. He did look not so great at certain times last year. But I Parham's good. JPJ's good. So who we got at the other guard right now? That's what I'm wondering.
I think it's Parham. No, wait, is it?
I know they signed Kappa, and then they have one other. But I'm a big fan of DJ Glaze and letting. And that was a good thing of letting them grow last year. But I mean, who are we taking? Is Connery going to be there? I don't know how what we're looking at, how late it is, but I mean, I'm looking at offensive tackle that I would take.
What about you, Ron? I think it froze. A name that's been put out there is Amon Membu, and he's projected, I think, to be in that top 10. I don't know if he's got a chance to see the tape on him, but the guy looks really good. I know there have been some debate pushing Glaze up to guard and having that be an easier transition for him. That might be something that I'm open to. But yeah, I mean, I like the tape on Membu. You still have Zabel. If you're looking for tackles, you have Zabel, but Tyler Booker is out there. Jonah out of Arizona, he's out there as well. I think he can play both. Donovan Jackson is also an option, but I think Donovan's supposed to go in the late first, if I'm not mistaken, maybe early second. I've done some mocks where he's still there in the second round. So, you have the continuity with. Oh, you good, bro? You have that continuity with.
If we still talking O line, right? We're still talking O line. I definitely like. Somebody brought him up. Anthony Belton is a late round guy that I do like. I saw him for the Senior Bowl. Took it down, bro. He got guard tackle versatility, so maybe you could take him at guard. If we were to go 6, right, and this is why I don't necessarily see it all that much, is I don't understand why people are trying to slide in like a right tackle all of a sudden. It's like, oh man, we're gonna get a right tackle. Like, bro, we just saw DJ Glaze perform. We saw him perform well, actually. It's not like he was fucking trash. We actually saw him do his thing. So from there, it's like, why would we not see where that takes us year 2? Nobody's calling him an all-pro. Nobody's saying all of these things, but to throw away development makes no sense, right? And some of us be too quick to do that. You cannot do that. And that's why I sometimes scratch my head is like, okay, we do take a offensive lineman at 6. He's probably playing right guard. Probably. Right? Because that's where you're going to slot him at. For me, I think the weak part of the offensive line is Parham. I really do, because I like Meredith. I think Meredith is an underrated signing that we made this year. A lot of people going to look back and be like, yeah, that motherfucker's real. Right? You're going to have to up that contract in a little bit. To me, the way he was playing towards the end of last year, what he can do. But I don't see why everybody likes to slot that with Colton. I can kind of see it, but I'm not really worried about Colton because we knew it was the shoulder last year. Like we knew what time it was coming into the season. So it's like, it was frustrating to watch, but when you look back and we reflect, it's like we all kind of knew what time it was, bro. Like coming in there, he had one good shoulder. We knew. As the season went on, especially after bye week and all that, you're like, all right, bro, there Colton go. There he looks better. Now we're starting to do what we do. Of course, JPJ is what he does. He's going to be good. We know that. So it's like, I don't think we have to immediately try to replace somebody. What you're doing, I think you got to try to find a guard that can immediately slot in. Like a Gray Zabel would be good. Oh man, shout out to the guy, man. I'm making a show right now, man. We're gonna figure out something to do with Big Dog East Coast Gridiron, man. We're gonna do something, man. So make sure you guys tap in. We got a show that me and him gonna do live, man. We're gonna be breaking down some prospects. But maybe if you can get a Gray Zabel going in, right? Like maybe you can get him in the second round. I like him. What's my guy from Georgia? You might be able to get him in the third round with the mullet, with Tate Rutledge. Yeah. I like him too, man. He got that nasty streak, right? And then I know y'all talked about. I don't know if y'all talked about Booker. He's nice. Somebody second round option. There's a lot of guys we can get guard wise, right? Also Ohio State guys that are together, right? I think I heard you say Donovan Jackson. Familiarity with Chip, right? So there's a lot of Ohio State guys that we can look at and just easily pinpoint and say that's a guy we can look at.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, you have options. You don't need to necessarily get them in the first 3 rounds. You have the guy from Georgia, Fairchild, also available. You got there was another guy I saw.
Jackson Slater from Sacramento State. Like people don't think of Sacramento State, but when you go back and look at some of the top offensive linemen or good offensive linemen in the league, Sacramento State's like a lineman school.
They got guys,
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I see a lot of people. I mean, we ain't talked about Kelvin Banks. I mean, how do y'all feel about Kelvin Banks? That's another guy people like and people look at and all that extra. But another guy we can maybe trade back for and get him out of Texas. They say, I mean, looking at this ranking right here, people got him ranked above Will Campbell. So I don't know if it's that, but
it just goes like you can rank people and it's just what you think is fit. Like we've seen it many times. I think a couple of years ago, there was 4 offensive tackles that went like first round, and it was just the way that
for sure.
The one that you wanted, like not everybody thought that. I think Anthony Thomas was one of them, or what's the name? Andrew Thomas.
Andrew Thomas.
Yeah, I think that's the year that Jared Willis went. All those guys went like top 4. Yeah. It's just the way that you would like it. So we all know that there's 4 good tackles, but which option do you want to go with at that time? If you like Banks better than you like Campbell, then that's on you. But I think Banks gets knocked because of his arm. Like it's weird. It's around draft time. It's weird of what the littlest stuff that drops players. Right, his hands or his arm is not.
Yeah,
they're not looking like. What did he do? What did he actually do in college with those same arms, with those same hands? Is his motor there, and was he stopping people? And that's all I really need to know. Like they always say that tape don't lie, and then we get to the combine, and they're like. Well, maybe it does lie. Look at his attributes right here. He can't jump so high. It's like,
we always do this at this point. We always do this at this point of the year when draft time comes. We always say, well, I've been watching this dude for a minute on tape, but now that I've been watching it for a minute, I start nitpicking all these weaknesses and shit that I didn't see before. Like they doing it with Mason Graham. They doing it with McMillan, they doing it with some of the McMillan thing. I guess I can see a little bit, but They doing it with a lot of guys. They doing it even with Travis Hunter, like you said before. Like, bro, there's a lot of at this point in the year, there's a lot of nitpicking and there's a lot of overthinking when it comes to this shit. When it's like, for me, when I'm doing these evaluations, I always go back to how did I feel when I was watching you during the season? When I was watching you during the season and we was week to week and evaluating week to week, and also after that, going after the film, how did I feel? If I was feeling good in November or September, October, November, December, there's no fucking reason I should feel not good in March. Like, who gives a fuck, bro? Like, when I watched you in the fall, you was doing what you was doing, and I liked what I saw, right? Match that up with the film. You still doing good. Some of the players, the combine shouldn't mean much, but to just confirm what you saw in the fall and confirm what you saw on tape, right? And then after that, boom, I saw what I said. You ran good, sure, all right, whatever the case, sure. Some dudes, you don't really have to care about that. It is what it is, bro. Like, arm length, all right, sometimes that can do a thing with a tackle, but can he still be a good guard? Is he still going to be a good player? Like, regardless of it, we still have to factor those things in too, bro. So I think some of the things do be stupid when it comes to the combine.
But if you do say that you put mayonnaise in your coffee, then yeah, we don't want you on your.
No, that's already
that's wrong. That's just wrong.
That's the only thing that could drop your draft status. Like, you say that, you out of here.
That definitely factors. Thank God we didn't do that, boy. Oh my God, I knew that was something. Thank God.
Will Levis on the team right now.
Draft smoke screen, and I hate that the draft has to consist of the drama. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, it's like, oh man, even if you like a player, man, we're gonna talk shit about this player just in case so and so might get him. Like, bro, that's so stupid, bro. It's just dumb.
Look at Anthony Richardson from a couple years ago. Everybody knew that he was a developmental quarterback that shouldn't have gone top. But once he got into the combine, you start falling in love with him. You see his arm strength and what he could do. Everybody fell in love with him. He ended up going number 4, and now the Colts are like, damn it, what do we do? Now he's competing with Daniel Jones.
But see, then I look at that situation in multiple situations like that when it's like, well, what are you guys doing, bro? Multiple times before you drafted him, we all sat there and said he probably don't need to be playing year 1 or 2. Like, you don't need to see the field. Let him learn. He has trade. Just let him learn. And what did we see? 6 games in, the motherfucker starting. Like, that's when you look at organizations and you say, like, well, what are y'all doing, bro? You know what I mean? Like, well, what are we doing? Like, we take Jalen Milroe, right? And all of a sudden he gets to starting when he probably should, right? It's like, he probably shouldn't be out. We all know he can't be out there no year 1. We all know that. But no, if he's out there year 1, that's on the coaches, dog. That's on you. Then the development clock starts. You can't redo that shit no more. You feel what I'm saying? Nope. Like, the benching worked for Bryce Young, but then it didn't work for Anthony Richardson. So now we sitting at 50% hit rate. So you can't fuck around and keep doing that, bro. You gotta have the starter. And once he's in, he's in. And then at that point, if he's not the guy, bro, he's not the guy. So it's like that's on organizations to me too, bro, where they take guys and they fuck them up. I think some organizations do that.
Yeah. And Tom Brady has been big on that since he left the NFL about the developmental of quarterbacks in the league, and especially rookie quarterbacks, saying that they've taken away so much of the offseason that we just basically dumb down the offense. It's how he said it, and just push them out there and expect them to do great right off the bat. So that's why I'm kind of like, to go back to our earlier conversation when you were saying that maybe they take a quarterback at number 6. I mean, I think they're looking at somebody that's going to back up for a couple of years and then take over for Geno Smith in just a few years. Like, that's why I don't think they go Sanders at number 6 if he's there.
Right, right. And there's 2 dudes that fit the mold, because I know people like Jackson Dart, but there are things Jackson Dart must work on, right? And it's not major things, but it's like he has footwork issues that sometimes he gets himself into trouble and the ball sprays. Or we all know, bro, like the decision making sometimes with him, the circuits get haywire or some shit in there. I don't know. Sometimes he be throwing some shit and you be scratching your head. You be looking like, bro, what the fuck are you throwing it at? So he just got to work on certain things like that, bro. Once he does that, and that only takes a year or some shit for him, for me, in my estimation. Like Jackson, year. If you wanted to do an extra year, sure, but I think a year suffice. Now Jalen Milroe is different. I don't want to see him for 2 years at least.
Yeah.
Minimum. I don't want to see that man at all.
Oh yeah. And if you get him like at 3 or 4, I ain't mad at that. I'm not gonna be mad at that.
No.
You know,
Not third, fourth.
get
Nah.
third and fourth round. Like if we pick up Genty, I'm sorry, Milrow. I'm not mad at that. You know, and that would be that'd be an investment for the future. You know, because then at that point you're running with Geno for at least 2 seasons minimum. You know,
Right.
You got to look at that for sure.
Which the timeline works out anyway. So
yeah,
But see, we as Raider fans or just NFL fans altogether, we want instant gratification right now. We want if we draft Milrow, that's our future quarterback. We want him in there now. Like we're not looking at the developmentals and what's going to take to be good for years to come instead of just right now. Like we gotta build the blueprint, start building the house, and go from there. And just let it develop into what we need to. But like if we can get Milrow, if we walk away from the draft with Milrow in the 3rd or 4th round, I'm good with it. I'm 100%.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all. That's good value.
Like you said,
bro.
I don't want to see him on the field.
Yeah. I don't want to see that man at all, but it's good value. And like you said, bro, like the patience is what's required because we know he can run the ball. We know the physical shit is there. Like that's nothing about that. And he even has a good deep ball, right? Like, which is crazy because his deep ball accuracy is good as hell. But when it comes to all the intermediate shit, like that's gonna take a lot longer to get, bro, to get the finesse of it. Like this is gonna take so much longer. So we got to be patient with that, bro, to see what we want to see, right? Like, cause this is the thing. Are y'all willing to be impatient and say like he's got to get in there now and he doesn't even become a fraction of what he actually could be? Is if this motherfucker could sit and learn, like, as if he's sitting to learn, bro. I will admit I don't really like him right now, but if he gets his throwing together, he's a problem. Like he would be a problem if he gets his throwing together. And that's not say Lamar Jackson type, but just let's say Jalen Hurts, right? Because I feel like he's more athletic than Jalen Hurts. If he gets it to that degree, he's gonna be a fucking problem. So I will say that, but that takes work. That's easier said than done, right? So we just gotta be patient with it, right? That's all. That's if we were to take him, we would have to be patient and understand what that would be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like I'm gonna address this question from Crappy. Are we good with Geno having Tucker, Jacoby, and Bowers and Genty? Look, if Genty gets picked up at 6, I'm not gonna throw a fit about it. It is what it is. They saw, we all know Spytek was out there at Boise State this week or early this week and was watching Genty. So if he drafts him at 6, that means he saw something there that made him that's the choice, and we're gonna run with it. Now my expectations are gonna be high for him because I'm like, okay, so we got this guy at number 6. We could have gotten any other running back at a later round, but we decided to get him at number 6. I'm gonna expect to have at least 1,500 yards rushing for the season. I want to see an immediate great impact. You know, not some other bullshit excuse or an underperforming, or he only got 1,000 yards or anything like that. After anything below 1,500 yards, to me, it's a failure. Getting a guy that high, a running back with this draft class, I feel. But I won't be huffing and puffing. But I'll
say this, bro. And I'll be the bad guy. I don't care, bro. For me, that right there looked like by week 7, week 9, defenses is gonna squeeze our ass down and say y'all not gonna be able to run the ball no more. That's what it's gonna be. That's just to me, bro. And we've seen it for years already, bro. Like we saw it with the last Pro Bowl running back we had. No, this is what the fuck they just did. When we don't have no explosion on the outside, like yes, we like Jacoby, but we know he's not an explosive number 1 wide receiver. Bowers, we like Bowers, right? But there's only so much he can do. There's only so much Bowers can do. And then we like Trey. I feel like Trey would be better, but we can't expect the world out of Trey, bro. He ain't showed us that. So I just by week 8 to me, bro, like we getting squeezed. And now we talking about linebacker. Everybody's playing all close to the line of scrimmage. We all up in your shit, right? We got 7, 8 in the box. Go ahead. Try to pass the ball. Try to run the ball if you want. You're not gonna do it. And I think that's what will happen. in my opinion. And there's nobody we can turn to say, oh man, we need some help. There's nobody we can turn to for that.
Well, didn't that happen to Boise State in their championship game, and that's why Genty got shut down?
There's nobody. That's what I'm saying, bro. We can't do that. Can't do that.
If your wide receivers aren't fearing anybody, they don't care. Hey, we're gonna let you beat us because you're not gonna beat us 9 out of 10 times. You might beat us once, but you're not gonna beat us all the other times.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and a couple times you'll get it done. A couple times you'll get it done. But like I'm saying, bro, and like you just said, like there's only a couple more times. There's only a couple teams you'll probably be able to just run the fucking ball on and kill them on the ground like that, bro. The other teams will scheme you and make you have to throw the ball. Like Kansas City's gonna make you throw the ball. Denver's gonna make you throw the ball. You feel what I'm saying? Like fucking. Even the Chargers, to a degree, are gonna make you throw the ball. Like so, we have to have answers, bro. We and right now with that, there's not many answers. If we're not running for 150 yards a game, I don't know what we're gonna do.
Yeah, exactly. So, we definitely got to get over 100 yards. If not, like you said, 150 is the target goal, and it's ideal for our offense to really function. And yes, we're not going to be only running the ball, but especially in those red zone situations where a lot of people kind of are critical on Geno, where he has all these turnovers. Okay, this is the time where you get the ball out of his hand, pass it off to your running back, whether it be Judkins, Johnson, or Genty. Right? If we get Genty at 6. I expect us to be able to go ahead and hit a touchdown once he gets that ball in his hands. If we're in the red zone, I want to see that. I want to see that highlight. Like it should be almost an automatic thing, right? Whether it be 1 or 2 downs that it takes, but that has to be there, right? He has to be able to go ahead and produce. No more that we can't score from the 1 yard line anymore. Hopefully those days are behind us and we'll never have to go ahead and relive that type of nightmare again, where I'm literally pulling out my hair on my couch because I'm like, what the fuck? How we not be able to score from the 1 yard line? This is insane.
Yeah.
So I hope with either with Genty or hopefully the move is that we go out and get different running backs that we're able to go ahead and improve that running game. But that's what we want to do. I know Walt. I'm gonna address Walt because Walt keeps tripping. Like address beyond number 6, and we have been, bro. I mean, we're talking about not just number 6, but
Walt old, bro. He can't. He don't be paying attention like that. He old, bro. He can't hear.
You gotta pay attention. You gotta read between the lines, my guy. So, I mean, we're getting we can draft the running back in number 2 in the 2nd at 37. We can get one in the 5th. I've said that before. We have different options. The thing is, you can't just go by this is your order and that's it. You have to be flexible because this draft is constantly changing. If a team makes a move, the pick before you got to go ahead and answer in kind. You either go to your plan B or you get ready to trade down or whatever, right? That's just how the name goes. We know that the positions that we have to address is a quarterback, running back, wide receiver, linebacker, and then O-line. Those are 5 positions that we have to address. We not even talking about corner or safety because I feel at safety we cool. Could we pick up another player? Yeah, we could, but that's not an immediate issue. If that makes sense, that's not something that's highly of importance. Getting a running back that's highly important. Getting a receiver, another weapon, a true number 1, that's a priority. Planning for the future, getting a quarterback, that's a priority. Getting more, building that solid O-line and bringing depth, that's an issue that we need to go ahead and address. So, what else?
So we talking about Wall said 37. If we take Genty, who we take at 37, you probably better try to get a receiver, or you got to try to go defense again. and see who fell to you on defense and see what's there. Maybe a corner fell like a Benjamin Morrison, who's nobody talking about from Notre Dame, which I think is very nice. Maybe you get some other guys that fall to you, but probably looking at receiver or O-line. If you can get O-line. I'm probably looking trenches regardless of it, bro. Like if we do that at 6, bro, trenches is where I'm going for probably 37.
100%.
Yep, for sure. All right, but let me see. Genty,
don't say this too loud, bro. Don't say this too loud, bro. Don't say they're gonna attack you, dog. Don't say this shit too loud, bro. They're gonna attack you.
Yeah. Careful. But let's go ahead and kind of get into the final segment of the show. Let's go ahead and ask Joe some questions. So let's go ahead and let me ask you this. How long, what really got you becoming a Raider fan? How long you been a Raider fan? What got you into Raiders content creating? And just talk about what you have going on as well.
See, I get asked that question a lot. Maybe I should actually research myself of why I became a Raider fan. I can't. I don't know why. Nobody in my family is a Raider fan besides me. Like,
oh, really? Wow.
Most of my family is either Steeler fans or 49er fans, and I hate all of them. So, but like, I don't know. Maybe, I'm kind of older, but like the Raiders weren't good when I was growing up. Like they were good. When I started being a Raider fan, the first game I went to was probably, I want to say 93, 94. Raiders, Steelers in the LA Coliseum was the first one. That's why people are like, I get a lot of, like, you're a Raider and a Dodger fan? Yeah, because at one point the Raiders were in LA with them. So the first Raider game I remember going to was in the Coliseum. Jeff Hostetler was the quarterback. Watching that game, I walked away with this big old banner that said just win, baby, and all that stuff. And then, when I actually got into football, like actually got into it and started watching it myself, was when Charles Woodson was drafted. I said that was the first NFL draft I sat and watched the whole thing of, and got to watch Charles Woodson through the whole thing, and just started going to more and more games as I became. And like I said, with my high school days, I'm going to age myself a little bit. When I was high school, that's when they actually went to the Super Bowl and lost to Tampa Bay. But I can't tell you the pinpoint why I became a Raider fan. I don't have that, but I just basically started rooting for the Raiders when I was young, and that's how you don't switch up. Like real men don't switch up, right? You don't go, well, they're not winning, so I got to go over here. You know how hard it is to be a Raider fan for the last 30 plus years.
Oh, facts. Oh, come on, you ain't gotta tell me nothing. You ain't gotta tell me nothing, bro. I'm 26 years old, so just do the math on when we was last good. And you can see that. I got a question for you, man. I got a question because I know this is coming up soon, man. I know my guy Cheeto been talking about it for a minute, man. But the summer kickoff, man, that's going down in Bakersfield. How'd that come about, man? Yeah. How'd that come about? How you guys put that together? What it's looking like, man. What is looking like for everybody to go ahead and maybe meet y'all down there as well.
Yeah, so this is okay. This is crazy because I live in Bakersfield, and the event is in Bakersfield, California, and it's the Raiders Summer Kickoff. This is actually going to be the 11th year of them doing it.
Okay.
To be honest with you, I didn't know anything about it until just a few years ago when I started making content and making corrections, finding out about it. And I live in the town. That's how crazy it was. And at one point, Max Crosby, when he was rookie, he came to it. But this is a time where Raider fans can meet up throughout the offseason, get their hope right after the NFL draft is going. You start building the connections with other Raider fans. I think that's what people miss out. It's like when you go to these events, you meet so many other people that you're just that love the Raiders just as much as you, want to talk Raider football just as much as you, and you build those connections, and then you start seeing them at games. When you go to Las Vegas, you start seeing them at away games. And you just look forward to seeing that community that you're building, and that's something that I like. But the Raiders Summer Kickoff last year was amazing. Over 1,000 Raider fans there. You had Jacoby Myers. You had who else did we have? Diablo. I think DJ Turner was there. This year, hey Raider fans, I already built this guy up. This year, I already told you who's coming out there. It's Jeremy Chin. We're gonna welcome Jeremy Chin to the Raider Nation.
Sibley
He's already
going
locked in.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
Jeremy Chin will be there. They're working on getting other players right now. I know a lot of people are like, well, we need more players. Jeremy Chin, I already talked about it. Like, you guys are going to fall in love with Jeremy Chin. Now you get to meet him. He's going to be there live in person. He already said he's going to sign autographs. You got to get the ticket with it, but there's a VIP section and then there's a general admission section. The VIP section comes with, you're going to be under the tent. You're going to get your dinner. You're going to get stuff like that. So there is stuff like that, but it's a great event. Like I said, I've been going out there for the last couple of years and just keep building it and getting it bigger and better. The guy who puts it on, his name is Lorenzo. He's from the Raider Crusaders in Bakersfield.
Shout out to the Raider Crusaders.
Yeah,
Go ahead and give him.
Lorenzo's a really nice guy. I mean, I'll be out there. I've talked to Simone Raider. I've talked to Mr. Fitz, Gogo, like a bunch of people that we've all seen out there. Bunch of vendors go out there, bunch of merchandise, Raider merchandise. So you want to get T-shirts made. If you're selling T-shirts, like you're selling Raider merchandise, and you want to set up a booth out there, you got to hit up Lorenzo. He has no problem. This year they're moving it. Last year we had it at the fairgrounds, which was indoors and had AC, which was very nice. But now we're going to do it at a baseball stadium in Bakersfield because of some of the other stuff that was going on that weekend. But this is the perfect time to do it. Is what Lorenzo was explaining to me. May 17th. Is in between. It's after the draft, and it's in between the two OTAs that the Raiders will throw out there, so you can get the players in and out. But I mean, if you're into meeting Raider fans and you're into meeting the Raider players, because we don't have it. There's no issue with you going up there and talking to them and saying what's up. They're gonna rush you just a little bit. You can't go up there and spend 20 minutes with Jeremy Chin. But when you're up there getting your autograph, and you're saying what's up to him, and you're talking to him, he's answering your questions along with you, and you'll sign whatever you got for him, and then you move on. It's just a good summer kickoff event to get you back in the mode of Raider Nation and getting ready for the hyped up for the season, which we all need.
That's real dope, bro. That's real dope. Hey, man, Sibley going, man. I know my boy Chris excited for that. You know, he got shout out my boy Chris, protect the shield, man. He got Sibley going. Everybody, it's an inside, man. It's an inside, but he gonna be definitely happy for that one. But bro, it's definitely.
Have you guys ever met her?
Nah,
Sibley?
never met her.
Nah, I haven't met Sibley. No.
Very, very amazing.
Yeah, she look cool, bro. She look very
cool. Like if you want to talk to her, she'll take pictures with you. She'll talk to you. She's down for everything. I think DJ Steph will be there. I don't know if you guys know who she is, but she did all the Raider events in Las Vegas at the Eye Candy for the Black Hole. And that's another thing that the Raiders have going on for them is we have the Black Hole, which is starting to get together and starting to bring the Raider Nation back together. I think when they went to Las Vegas, everybody expanded and were trying to do their own thing. Now the Black Hole, Mark is running that right now, and he's trying to not make like Raider events, not like have multiple Raider events on the same day or around there. He's trying to bring it all together where like, hey, you're going to run it this week. We're all back you on here. All Raider Nation will be here for this one, and we'll go here for this one. So there's a lot of good things happening in Las Vegas. I think a couple of years ago with Josh McDaniels, I know everybody hated what turned out to that, but it actually turned into be a good thing for the Raider Nation. As we saw that Las Vegas hasn't been what it was in Oakland. It probably never will be what it was in Oakland. I mean, you can't replicate what we had in Oakland and what the tailgating was up there and the stadium. And like, it was a shitty stadium. Don't get me wrong. Shitty stadium, but it was our stadium. And we love going there, and they put us together, and we could get loud there and do what we can. And we'll probably never replicate that in Las Vegas, but there's a good group of Raider fans that are trying to do that. And the last couple of tailgates that have been in Las Vegas have actually been like you're walking around going, hey, this kind of has that little feel of the old Raiders getting back together. So we got that going for us as we're trying to push it back to, I don't know if we'll ever take over Las Vegas because the prices are ridiculous, but at least we could take over the tailgate and scare some people.
For sure.
We definitely gotta put our presence there in Vegas. I know it's been kind of half and half lately, but feel that this year probably that will turn around. I'm definitely gonna try to make it out to Bakersfield. Obviously, originally from Cali, so LA. So I gotta try to make that out there. I'll make it a dual purpose visit, Pam, but also head to that summer kickoff, and that would be
Oh, for
pretty
sure.
cool. For sure. We're about to almost go ahead and get on out of here, but Joe, go ahead and let them know what you have going on, where they can find you at, all that good stuff.
You guys can find me on basically every social media platform. The Joe Morley should be everywhere. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I'm trying to get the YouTube going. I just need to find more time to do it. I work a lot and I push out videos as much as I can, but anything that you want to talk about Raider Nation, I try to be funny with it. So some people laugh about it. I do have a different sense of humor, so I am a little sarcastic with it. So I hope that you find some of the stuff that you have to weed in. Some of the time I'm being serious, and some of the time I'm not. But yeah, it's just basically just having fun talking football and anything else. Like I'll talk wrestling, I'll talk baseball, whatever. What else is going on in the world? If I feel that I want to make a video about it, I'm gonna make a video about it. And I know a lot of people get mad and go, just stick to Raider content. But at this point, I'm just having fun. Just having fun with it.
Translation, man, you see them goddamn followers, man. That mean whatever the hell he want to make, he gonna make. That's what it means. All right. So whatever he wants to make, y'all be happy, man, and enjoy the goddamn content. All right. That's what that means, man. But we appreciate you, man, for doing the Raider content nonetheless, bro. Because that's always what we need, man. Some more
It's hilarious, bro.
chill
Yeah,
in it,
you
man.
know I
Some more
chime
chill in it,
in.
bro.
Yeah, it's great stuff for sure, man. Hey, you could have plugged in the channel on here. So, but if you want a copy of this, just let me know. I'll try to figure out a way to send it to you. You can plug it on your YouTube channel. So y'all know I did plug in his YouTube channel in the descriptions on both channels, so you guys can go ahead and hit that link and hop on over, give him a subscribe. For sure to go ahead and tap into more Joe Morley content for sure. But thank you, man. I appreciate you chopping it up with us on a Saturday morning, joining us for some good old Raider talk and see how this season is going to go ahead and pan out. We still have the draft, and man, it's literally what almost 30 days away, less than 30 days away. I can't wait to see what happens. For sure. What you got there, man?
Walt said something about does a young guy even remember Tim Brown? I don't know who he's talking to, if it's one of us or
I think he's talking to someone in the chat.
But I don't know. I have this on my wall, but it kind of fell right now. But you got the Charles Woodson rookie card and you got the Tim Brown rookie card right here.
There you go. That's hard. That's hard.
Yeah. Tim Brown rookie card, bro. That's money. That's got to be some money, boy.
Yeah,
that's got to be something. But man, we appreciate you as always, man. We appreciate everybody in the chat as always, man. Make sure you guys keep the notifications on every Saturday morning, 10 o'clock Pacific time. Make sure you are following our guy Joe as well, man. Y'all know what the deal is, bro. We always trying to create the family community, man. So everybody we bring in as guests, y'all know, man. They stamp. Bring them in. Go ahead, follow them. You know what time it is, bro. Support everybody that is trying to make good content, bro. None of that bullshit. Support all that, man. So make sure everybody does that, bro. And appreciate everybody again on the Saturday morning.
Yes, sir. And as always, you guys can go ahead and find us on our shows. My guy Rundown on his State of the Nation on Tuesdays with our guy Chill Linus at 7 p.m. Pacific. And then for me on Mondays, Raiders Unfiltered. Every day I'm doing a new time. I'm gonna try it an hour before you guys. It works a little bit better for me energy wise with the kids and all that. On Mondays, so I'm gonna try.
I'm already knowing, bro. You ain't got to say shit to me.
Exactly.
Yeah, say nothing to me.
Yep. So I'm try out that new time and see how that works out. But this is for right now. At least we're gonna do 5 p.m. Pacific every damn Monday at night. It's still night or evening, whatever. Raiders Unfiltered. Make sure you guys tap in, and obviously the Connection show. The Raiders Connection every damn Wednesday. That is a panel show. Consists of Cheeto Linus, Jeff New England Booster, which he was on earlier. My guy LB Raider 10 and myself. Every damn Wednesday. Actually, Cheeto's not gonna be on Wednesday. You want to pop in, Run?
Hey, we might have to do that thing.
All right.
We're gonna go ahead and make it connect, bro. Let's get our man up out of here, man.
Yeah, I'm at to sub in Cheeto, but for sure.
Let's get our man up out of here, man. We appreciate his time. We don't want to take too
Yes,
much of his
appreciate it,
time,
man.
man.
All right, but I appreciate everyone tapping in. Make sure you guys join us next Saturday for Good Morning Raiders. Our guest for next week will be none other than Raider Alex. So
Yeah, I'm waiting on that.
tap
Hey,
in.
shameless plug. We got Matt Holder tomorrow, man, for an episode. So make sure y'all tune in tomorrow, man.
Tap
Got Matt
into
Holder
that
on.
for sure. All right, y'all. Until next time, much love, peace,
Peace.
and we'll see you next time, Raider Nation. Just Raiders, baby.